technology must be forged with talent. Right, we start from there. We need to stop seeing the blue collars as low value skills.
It doesn't look like my nasi lemak will be delivered by a drone anytime soon lah.
In somewhere many years ago, people were attempting to do that, but they don't see the relevance of it.
Is there a reason why we've got so many people who fly drones, but they don't take it to that next level to be able to be, make it a skill that is commercially viable?
Terry, it's a spot-on question. Right?
I know.
But empower the talent, technology will follow.
Welcome back to another episode of Life Confessions, and we are going to go deep today into a category of education, so to speak, that has everyone talking and should have more people talking. We have with us our guest, who is also the president of Yayasan Mahir Malaysia, Datuk P. Sri Ganesh. Thank you for joining us, Datuk.
Thank you, Terry. It's good to be here. Right.
Now, before we dive into how drone piloting and the industry of drones is something that we really want to learn more about, let's first find out more about your involvement with Yayasan Mahir Malaysia and TVET.
Okay, Yayasan Mahir Malaysia, it's a convergence of the industry need and the skill enhancement in this country. It was actually formed to advocate TVET in various verticals, right? From to various categories, from school leavers and the current graduates, and also those who are looking into better career transition and so forth. So, yeah, that's the purpose of Yayasan Mahir. We advocate the skills need in this country and whatnot. But when it comes to technical vocational education training, my involvement would be when the world were looking into conventional academics. I'm from academic background as well. So I had a different perception of the entire need when it comes to skills and so forth. So whenever there is an academic knowledge, you have to ice it with technical skills. So that has to be structured. So this is where TVET comes into play. And I was very much excited when early days when I have to match the academic needs and TVET and so forth. So TVET itself is a subset of academic, but it has more of industry skills involved, and it has more real output there rather than having just an academic knowledge proliferation in terms of the need in the industry and so forth.
And today, our main focus for this conversation is actually around drones, the industry that has arisen from it, and the opportunities as well. For people who don't know much about drones beyond just photography, what exactly can drones do today, and why are they becoming such an important industry in our country, in Malaysia?
You see, to understand why drones are important, the drone technology itself, we must see from the macro view. If you look at our infrastructure today, we have the roads for the cars and motorbikes. iHub for helicopters and planes, that is about 20,000 square feet and above, right? So between those two, there are a void, there's a gap. Drone technology actually unlock this particular void, this gap. So now anything that flies within this gap, right, is an opportunity in terms for drone technology, right? So now when you attach payload, I would say attachment, a device into this drone at this particular white space, then it can be an application, industry application. For example, when you attach a camera, the drone will become your surveyor. If you attach a tank, then it will become your agriculture sprayer. And then if you attach a sensor, then it can sense data, remote sensing and so forth. So this particular gap that actually enhances drone technology out there. So the understanding of drones itself, it's only relevant when you understand the space which it can occupy.
It seems the opportunities are limitless. There's so many applications.
As long as this particular space is the white space is utilized
Yeah.
by using drone technology, and then of course the opportunity is unlimited.
Yeah.
They are in between. If you understand the analogy I explained earlier, the cars and motorbikes, they can't utilize this space, whereas it's too expensive for helicopters to occupy this space. So drone technology is the exact sweet spot for us to use various application in the industry.
Right. And as it grows, so too will the availability of job opportunities as well for people to get involved, right? In simple terms, why is the drone industry a good career path for young Malaysians right now?
I strongly believe that technology must be forged with talent. Right, we start from there, right? My journey actually started with the need of technology talents, right? So if you notice that when there is technology enhancement, there are many vertical converge together to ensure that this technology are well applied. So there could be new skill sets, there could be existing knowledge to be converged together with these skill sets to ensure that this particular talent that we are building is relevant in the industry. So I feel that having this knowledge on drone technology, I think creates vast opportunity for talents out there to apply it in various verticals.
Right. When people hear about a career in the drone industry, many people assume one of two things. Either you are a drone pilot or you're a drone pilot photographer of sorts. But actually, of course, the opportunities are much more vast than that. Could you give us an idea of what are the roles a person can play in the drone industry?
It's a common misconception that being a drone pilot is just about holding a controller and flying a drone.
Yeah.
Right? That's actually the easy part.
Right.
The professional drone operators is all about 20% flying and 80% about data processing. Right? So where we're getting at now is that our students, normally that we train, they learn about meteorology, they learn about air law, they learn about mission planning and so forth. But most importantly, they learn how to process the data that they capture.
Okay.
Now, I always tell them, a drone without processed data is just a toy. So a simple example would be you can fly a drone and take any pictures you want. You can collect as many data as you want. But if you don't know how to utilize it, you don't know how to process it, then you're losing the 80% of it, of the relevance of the drone skill set. So what is the usage of the drone without the data? So with the data, it's a business tool, right? So I like this distinction of 20% flying and 80% data processing. It really changes the perception of the drone talent needs in the market and why they should be a commercial drone operator.
Right, and the skills as well.
Another simple analogy would be like you're having a skill set of driving a car and compared to driving a F1 car on the circuit. So it's totally a different. It's the same vertical, but the utilization is totally different.
Right. We've heard about how some people are of the opinion that if someone is good at video games, they can then become a very skilled drone pilot and then, of course, learn the other skills involved as well. Is there any truth to that?
I feel that video games is more of motor skills and the skill of multitasking.
Right.
But drone is more on, yes, you must have that skill sets, but it's also about flying responsibly.
Okay.
Right? It involves public safety. So when you play a video game, right, you can lose out and you can repeat the same
like simulation
game segments and so forth. But drones are quite vulnerable to all this. They are sensitive flying machines.
Right.
So if we were to crash on a building during inspection and whatnot, the damage is severe. I think the collateral damages could be impactful. Yeah.
There's a big difference there, yeah. Right. Yayasan Mahir Malaysia, Dato, and TVET could have chosen, through that, you could have chosen so many different options to pursue in terms of building talent. But you've chosen to focus on building Malaysia's drone talent through Yayasan Mahir Malaysia. Is there a reason why you were inspired to do this?
Okay, you see, first and foremost, there was a single barrier when it comes to TVET, the perception itself.
Yeah.
So for too long, Malaysians actually look at TVET as second choice or backup plan.
Right.
It's because most of the time we relate TVET into the dirty, dangerous and whatnot skills. So people don't find it futuristic. So in the spirit of TVET, I actually looked into building talents in emerging technologies. So one of it is drone technology. So in the tech world per se, it's more of industry problem with sustainable solutions, which demands competency. So drone technology requires those competency to solve real world problems. So when I actually opted for drone technology, the idea behind this is that I can tackle different segments in building the pipeline for the nation, skilled talent workforce.
Right.
You can actually teach a graduate to fly a drone and use the existing academic knowledge and to couple with the drone technology to solve.
Like a geologist who would then learn to fly a drone and then be able to use both those skills.
Yeah, not only on high technical skills, like for instance, a marketing guy, marketing graduate, he wants to promote a property or a development plan. So he can use drone technology as one of the added advantage in having a competitive edge in his marketing strategies and so forth. So obviously that when he take up the drone skills program and all that, I think it'll add value to him, and he has his leverage compared to other graduates and so forth.
Right.
It applies also for school leavers when they have basic competencies in terms of understanding how electronics or motor works and so forth. They can put into play when it comes to drone technology. So we can actually create the creative minds to go into drone technology and create solutions for the real world out there.
Yeah.
So I think I was never wrong in choosing the skill set or the particular technology when it comes to drone technology. It's just that for me, it's easier to bring TVET to the society when it comes to emerging technologies like drones and so forth.
That makes so much sense because there are so many avenues for application. Just saying that you can even use it for people who have already graduated in other fields to then further enhance their abilities, right? Also, Datuk, Yayasan Mahir Malaysia has been pushing hard for large-scale TVET upskilling, like what you've just mentioned, in fact. In your view, what is the single biggest structural barrier preventing Malaysian youth from entering high-value tech fields like drones? Is there something that's stopping them from moving?
As I mentioned earlier, the perception itself.
Still.
So when as I tell you that it has been some time that many of us, when we advocate TVET, we relate it to conventional feeder skills.
Yep.
So we are not making it, we are not looking it on the futuristic side of it, right?
Yeah.
So we need to convince the youth that TVET is not a step down, right? It's actually a fast track for you to go into a high income career.
Right.
Apart from that, in the field like ours, the drone tech and so forth, right? A certified skill guys often performs better than a general degree guys. It's for obvious reasons, because he has an added advantage and so forth. That is necessary for when it comes to reality check. Where are you when it comes to your role in the industry? We need to stop seeing the blue collars as low value skills.
Right.
We need to have them shown as high value skills. So I think coupling them with this kind of emerging technologies like drone and so forth,
Right.
we can actually kill the wrong perception of TVET.
Right.
We can move forward as a nation and to create a more relevant workforce for the country and high-paying skilled graduates.
Are we actively doing anything to change this perception as well? Do we need some PR skills in order to show and highlight how important it is that the TVET options are real options instead of just a backup option?
That is the main reason for me to actually get this Yayasan Mahir up and running, because I feel that we cannot push this as a company. We cannot push this as a commercial organization. It has to come in as a collective effort by the government, industry, and also individuals, society itself. So we do a lot of public-private partnerships to bring in industry, technology into the market. Example, we call this industry application gap. We understand what are the issues currently in the industry. So we bring those issues or problems to academics, and we try to get their solution. And when I see that they have a limited option in getting those solutions, this is where we infuse with drone technology or other emerging technologies and so forth. So they will embed that in their solutions, and they can get this thing up and running. So with this kind of skill sets and effort and initiatives, I think we can slowly bring people into it. See, TVET is not about an option. TVET is about, it should be in our daily lives. It's not an option. When you have academic knowledge, you should have, all of us should have that TVET part of it as well. So if you believe in just pressing a button and switching option, then you are actually giving people options on TVET. What if you say that TVET is something compulsory, something that you need to have? Those days, I think in schools we have this program called Kemairan Hidup.
Yeah, build a bangku.
Right,
I remember.
build whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So for you to produce that item, you need several skill sets, right?
Right.
So it has to be embedded in. Example, if you're teaching computers in a university, then rather than understanding how to produce an application is one thing, right? We should also know the skill sets required for you to build an application and so forth. So you need to actually pick up skills on coding, you have to pick up skills on converging different technologies and so forth. So this has to be resonate with the industry applications and so forth. So once again, it has to be a collective effort with the government, society, and also industry.
That sounds like a huge challenge that perhaps needs more marketing and promotion behind it.
Right.
Is there enough of this effort to highlight the perception side of it? Because there's so much push going on to push the skills, to show that it's a valid way, a valid journey through education. But at the same time, because perception is an issue, right? So that needs to be more of something. Some would argue that it needs to be seen more. That means it needs to be promoted in a certain way. And is there enough effort going on that side of things, the perception side of things?
See, when it comes to promotion, as I mentioned, right? Promotion, awareness, it's one-off thing. You have a campaign and that's it. All of us are active during the campaign, and what happens after that?
Right.
So I believe in, I'm a doer. So in order for you to push that, you shouldn't be relying on budgets or promotions and awareness or team and all that. All this will die off. I believe in putting long-term partnership in place, like building industry labs in polytechnics, in ILPs, work with government agencies in setting up um, industry-based skill set training and so forth. So when you always relate back to the requirement for you to solve a certain problems, then you will take that for granted, right? Example, now we have recent flooding issues and so forth.
Yeah.
I think we need more drone pilots to actually ease the work of the government agencies and so forth. So
Right.
this require them, there's a push for them to acquire those skills.
Right, and it's very practical.
Practical.
Yeah.
So, but if you just put it in a way that it's just a poster somewhere and so forth, it's just applicable like when you say you don't do something,
Yeah.
everybody look at it.
So you want the action. You believe in the
Yeah,
action.
so
lah.
you have to actually put it into play. You have to get it running. You have to create the need. So if there's a need, I think there will be a long-term engagement on this, and you can see some results when it comes to building skills and so forth. Yeah.
It'll speak for itself because you're showing the results.
I mean, that is how we in some or other we managed to push it to a certain level. Our public-private partnership engagements were very strong. We work with universities, we work with polytechnics, we work with schools. We brought TVETs in schools. We brought drone technology to schools when people saying that this is a very expensive technology, but we managed to bring industry engagement to schools to actually demonstrate the actual usage of drones rather than creating hypes.
Right.
So there's a big difference between hype and the actual use of technology itself.
Right. So the actual use ideally will create the hype all its own. That means you don't have to manufacture the hype.
Correct.
The results will be the hype in itself.
You shouldn't be putting drone technology as something that only certain people can get access to it and so forth. You must put it in a way that everyone with an idea can at least access certain part of the drone technology for them to achieve their objectives.
Right. That's interesting because we don't lack people who are enthusiasts of drones in Malaysia because there are thousands of drone pilots in Malaysia simply because they have drones and they fly them. But only a fraction of these people are working in high-skill commercial operations, right? Why is there this gap? Is there a reason why we've got so many people who fly drones but they don't take it to that next level to be able to make it a skill that is commercially viable?
Terry, it's a spot-on question. Right?
I know.
But you see, buying a drone and flying in a park makes you a recreational flyer.
Right.
Shock sendiri lah.
Yeah.
But not a commercial operator.
Right.
Right. To bridge that gap, you need to have sector-specific knowledge, as I mentioned earlier. Knowing how to fly is basic. Anybody can just fly a drone, right? The objective of drone is autonomous flying. So you actually don't require them to have the flying skills. But what you need to have is that knowing how to map a 500 acres plantation or inspect a high voltage tower without crashing. So that requires a professional training. So that's why we have like small numbers into commercial drone flying, and most of them claim themselves as drone pilots by attending a few days programs and so forth. Right. So to resonate with the need of actual commercial drone operators and those recreational flyers, right? You must understand the need of the industry itself. So if you to have a drone and you fly a drone and you find yourself as a competent drone operator,
right?
Well, you can be a recreational flyer, but for sure you'll be lacking the industrial competency. So you must be able to understand what the industry need, and then to understand the competency part of it, then acquire the relevant skills for you to be relevant as a commercial drone operator.
Right. So they also need to know that these opportunities are available, because some people may not even know that that's an option, that that's something that they can pursue. while they are happily flying their drone in their taman.
As I mentioned, they need to know the fundamental of it. Drones are utilized in that white space, as I mentioned. So whatever that you can do in the white space, that will come into reality if you understand the problem statement. So drone technology actually cut across many industries, even for indoor drone flying, for warehouse management, even for agriculture, photography, remote sensing, confined space, and whatnot. Yeah.
Datuk, that's exactly why we need to speak to you today, and people need to listen.
It's a pleasure.
To this conversation. When we bring up the topic of drones, some people get a little nervous as well. There's a certain anxiety that comes up with it because people sometimes fear drones because they think they can be used for spying or cause accidents. And this is not an unwarranted fear because it actually has happened, right? What basic rules keep the public safe and how do we reassure them?
Okay, public safety relies on simple pillars, which we call the ERs. I call it the ERs: education, registration, regulation. So the E is the education, and then the registration, regulation, meaning you have to educate yourself. Then you need to ensure that you register and you follow the regulation. The most basic rule in for drone technology is that maintaining visual line of sight. If you can't see your drone, you shouldn't be flying at all.
Right.
That means you're flying irresponsibly.
Right.
We also have strict no-fly zones, especially near airports or dense area and
government buildings
and all that. So when pilots are properly certified, they understand the safety isn't just a rule book; it's a culture. So when you create those culture, so you are responsibly understand that you shouldn't be flying in these areas and so forth. So with that in place, then the idea of public safety and all that, over a period of time, we can gain trust from the public.
Right.
It's just like those days when we have the escalators and lifts and all that, right? They're actually there are lift operators, right, to actually tell you where to go and
they would sit in the
to
lift.
help you to press the button and all that. That was like 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But now you the lift tells you where to go, and so forth. So it takes some time, and it's more of public shared responsibility. So if you understand, if you make it like a culture that to drive safely, just like when you're driving a car, right? You'll be driving in the opposite lane. Right. So you need to follow rules, right? Same goes to drones. So you know where to fly and so forth.
Right. Just so that we need to make sure that we're up to date on what people who actually pilot drones are allowed to do.
Yes.
So therefore, if you see a drone within X amount of meters to your own home, you would know whether or not that drone is even allowed to be close to your residence.
Right. So you need to have that culture in place for you to report or for you to ensure that public safety is always the vital part in flying a drone.
Another issue that does crop up is cybersecurity. Because it's an emerging concern. Drones can be hacked or have their data intercepted. How prepared do you think Malaysia is to build a workforce that understands both aviation safety when it comes to drones and also digital security at the same time?
Okay. We are not actually flying just a drone. We're actually flying a connected edge service because it has a transmission link which the drone operator will be communicating with the drone. At the same time, it also acquires data. So it keeps your data. So there's two levels here. One is the data level. The other one is the hardware level. As for the hardware level, the pilots must ensure there's encrypted links between these drones and us so that the drone will not be hijacked by somebody else.
Right.
So then it will be a public safety issue.
Right.
The second level is that data itself. The data that we acquire, that when we fly in our landscape and so forth, right? The data, we must ensure that this data are retained here in Malaysia, but it's not sent over to a different country or and also data sovereignty is an important part here for us to look into. So that there's two part of it. One is the hardware level, and the other one is the data level itself. So a properly trained drone pilot will understand this.
Right.
So if you were to fly a drone and then you're acquiring a data from a government asset and so forth,
Right.
you must first understand that the data, is it retained at your place in a Malaysian server, or it's been transmitted to another country and so forth, or to some other hacker, and for them to gain access of that particular aerial view. And as for the hardware, imagine you're flying a drone and you have a transmission link, and then somebody else can hack the transmission and then they hijack the drone. So it could be a safety issue.
Yeah.
So all these are properly now, I think in terms of technology, they are very matured. The chances of this happening is very, very low, but I will not deny that it's not happening out there. It can happen. So a properly educated drone pilot can able to handle this. Professional certified drone pilots by the Civil Aviation Authority should able to handle this. But we need to understand the fundamental. When you see a drone, it's just not a camera flying, but it's an edge camera with a saver capability. It can able to process data simultaneously and send back to the command center and so forth. So having that in mind, so we must cater for all areas of security and so forth. I think this is accounted for, but the understanding, the public understanding is also equally important. Yeah.
Right, because to fly drones of a certain specification and capability, they must be registered. Is that the current requirement?
Yeah, you must be registered. The first thing is that the drone operator itself must be certified by CAM, Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia. Then the drone must be registered, and the particular area you should obtain a flying permit before you actually fly. So there are levels of approvals that you need to get so that we can narrow down an issue when there's something happens and so forth. Yeah.
So it sounds like this is both we have rules in effect already, but at the same time it's also a work in progress at the same time.
Yeah, it's a ongoing thing, but it's well regulated now.
Right.
It's an ongoing thing, but again, the drone operators are very creative. So we have to let them do the mistake and we learn from them, and then we need to
make one of them an example.
Yeah, by creating fear, we would not know what's going to happen.
Right.
But if we actually have a sandbox environment, let them test out whatever using in various vertical, using drone technology and so forth, we will get a better view of the drone simulation itself, what kind of problems they can create and so forth.
Right. Because you mentioned line of sight is one of the things that's important, to be able to make sure that the pilot can see the drone that they're flying. But we already have technology that allows a person to remotely pilot a drone through like glasses.
Yeah,
they can then
first person view flying.
Right, that exists already. So as drones become more powerful with longer flight ranges and heavier payloads, how do we balance innovation with public safety without slowing down industry growth at the same time? Because we want the industry to grow, but we want to make sure it's safe.
We cannot just unleash these drones in the public airspace and then hope for the best. That is something we cannot allow to happen. But we need designated safe zones where companies can test their high risk innovations, like heavy cargo delivery, without endangering the public. This allows regulators to gather real-time data, and instead of implementing something based on fear, they can write laws based on the evidence that they have captured during the test bed and so forth. So I think that will be a better approach rather than just creating fear and fear.
Right.
Still, people are going to go against it. So what we need to do is to have an environment to test out all this. Then we can have better laws in place.
Do we have these safe zones?
Yeah, we do.
Already?
We have a couple of test bed areas. And, I personally is involved in a drone delivery testing in Johor, which we test various loads and so forth to see how practical, how safe is it in the industry environment. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see some of that in action, to see how heavy the payload can be.
Yes, it's a technology advancement, but how practical it is
Yeah.
for consumers, that is something to be,
Right.
there is still something to be addressed.
Hmm.
Right.
What do you? Okay, I haven't seen it. You've seen it.
Right.
What do you? How much progress are we making there?
In terms of carrying the load, yes, the drone can easily carry a load, but
Right.
actually the propeller, the wingspan, and all that really matters when you're carrying the drone. But why actually you're carrying a big load of stuff and endangering the public?
Right.
So I would rather use those, in my opinion,
Huh.
for point-to-point delivery, meaning it's not for public delivery, but for a certain operation
Okay.
from point to point, where from that you can disseminate the cargo or the loads.
All right. So it won't be sent to the end customer.
Not
It'll be
to the
sent
end
to
customer.
like
Yeah. So for
like a
me,
point,
drone delivery is still
a hub.
it shouldn't be applicable to consumer.
Right.
It should be applicable to point thing as a collection
Right.
point and so forth. But it's applicable in Sarawak, Sabah, because we have landscape logistic issues and
Right.
so forth, right? So you can reach out to a Rumah Panjang, then from the Rumah
Mm.
Panjang people can actually distribute and all that.
Right.
But the best way to operate these drone deliveries are by the coastal side. So your risk is less because you
No
anything happens, you're
buildings.
gonna no buildings and so
Yeah.
forth. So these are the ways that government are looking into enhancing this kind of services and all that. So based on the test data and so forth, what I notice is that the technology enhancement can be only used in certain areas, which has to have the economy of scale, right? Otherwise, having technology itself and we will live in the hype bubble.
Right. That's very exciting. Also, I'm slightly disappointed because based on what you're saying, it doesn't look like my nasi lemak will be delivered by a drone anytime soon lah.
In somewhere many years ago, people were attempting to do that, but they don't see the relevance of it.
I see the relevance in it, Datuk.
Right.
It's quite exciting.
Imagine that you have nasi lemak coming all the way with all these propellers coming to you.
Yes.
Imagine the sound pollution that it makes and the species that we are killing out there.
I have to concur. I agree with you, but at the same time, still disappointed that I'm not getting my nasi lemak. Now, tell us about a success story from the foundation that makes you feel most proud of the work that you're doing with Yayasan.
Well, it happened during the pandemic when the world shut down. Many young people lost their job overnight. We launched a special COVID project, COVID relief project, with a simple goal, which is to take unemployed youth and turn them into agro drone pilots. So we trained over 200 youths. This is way back in 2020.
What are agro drone?
Agro drone pilots are those pilots, they use, those pilots can maneuver drones in the agriculture sites, either for spraying or for collection of data.
Right,
and,
like pesticides.
Pesticides and
got
so
it.
forth.
Okay.
So we trained over 200 youths, and those were the kids who had never flown drone before.
Okay.
But they were, some or other have some knowledge in terms of agriculture and so forth. Could be some graduates and so forth. So we taught them how to spray crops, map plantation, and manage data and so forth. So today, many of them are just not employed. They are earning high income, servicing this agriculture drone.
Wow.
And it gave them a head start during COVID, and now it became their so-called their drone entrepreneurs right now.
They went from being unemployed to now being success stories.
Right, because that particular time it pushes the boundary. So they want to go into any field because they are desperate for jobs and all that. But we got them into high-paying jobs by incorporating these drone skills and so forth. Yeah.
It must feel really good to know that you've had this kind of effect on someone's life.
The PM then, in 2020, 2021, actually visited our place. He was very happy to see our progress and so forth. And many agencies then realized that this can be a good head start for the youth. And since then, we have been working with many government agencies in making this into a reality sustainable effort in upskilling the youth out there.
Right. How do you feel about this success?
For me, it's the vision that I have seen. So I am happy that my team can see this, what activity that we want to achieve.
Right.
So I feel satisfied whenever I see one of my graduates are doing well in this field and so on, especially in drone technology and all that. So having the technology but having the skill set, it really matters. So that
Right.
proves that proves that the vision that I'm seeing is actually practical enough for others to embark in. Yeah,
Right. You talk about them like a proud father.
yeah, always.
Now, Datuk, we come to the rapid fire questions. So whatever that comes to your mind first is the answer for today, but that doesn't mean that at any other day it might be a different answer. So for today, all right, rapid fire. What's the biggest myth about drones?
That drones can actually deliver items to consumers.
I'm still disappointed about that. That's all. All right, next question. If you could teach every Malaysian one safety rule, what would it be?
Don't fly near airports ever.
Okay, right. If you your go-to leadership principle in one sentence.
Empower the talent, technology will follow.
What's harder, getting industry to move faster or getting policy to move faster? Oh, wow.
Of course.
I haven't finished the question.
Policy,
Are you ready?
of course. Policy.
All right, that seems a very clear answer. Actually, while we're on that, what policy do you think would be the first policy you'd like to change that would make a difference?
You need to have a clear line between training and industry usage, right? So we need to designate a training facility for you to put into skill set into play. But you cannot have a blanket policy saying that you can't do this, and so you're actually curtailing the effort.
Right.
Those people out there want to outshine in drone technology and so forth.
Oh, that makes sense. If you could give one piece of advice to a 17-year-old thinking about their future, what would it be?
Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the hype. Master specific skills that actually can solve real industry problems.
Right. Like flying a drone.
Yeah, one of it.
Right. I like it. Came back to full circle to exactly what you're trying to push, right? Final question is something we ask all of our guests. If you had the opportunity to make one change as Prime Minister of Malaysia for a day, what would it be and why would that change be?
I will mandate integrated tech education, whereby I will create an innovator nation rather than a consuming nation. That means basically, in a simple words, I don't want to teach people how to consume technology. I want to teach people how to create solutions for problems out there using technology.
Be a part of the process.
Yes.
And start it in school.
Yes, exactly.
So all you want to do, Dato, is to overhaul our entire education.
If given a chance, yes.
Well, I look forward to that happening, and we appreciate you for sharing your thoughts today. I think we've learned a lot about not just droning, but being a drone pilot and what it can do to a person's life or change a person's life, but how TVET is such an important part of education and should be seen for the change that it is, the change that it can bring. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you again, right, all of you.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of Life Confessions. We'll see you on the next one here on Shock.